All right, soldiers of the 181 infantry, we now have our first movement video. It's going to be about the 3-rep max deadlift with the hex bar. Okay, we're going to talk about it real quick. You have 5 minutes to get this done, and you get 2 attempts. Okay, now any of the grading criteria and all that stuff, just go to army.mils/ACFT. It's going to have all this stuff. Again, none of this stuff we're going to go over is meant to replace. It's only meant to add to and get you guys ready and show you progressions to properly get you there. And then we'll do some workouts, program some workouts that you guys can follow along with. Okay, so talking about the deadlift real quick, the traditional deadlift is more of a hip hinge movement. This is as well. Okay, but what the trap bar allows you to do is get more of an upright torso than you would with external load in front of you. All that means is that it's a little in front of you. This we have the weight and load balance right at your midline there, your center of gravity, so it's not as hard. Okay, so this is a 60 pound. Make sure whatever you're practicing with, it's a 60 pound hex bar with no raised handles. If you have raised handles, they have to be on the bottom. Okay, this is flush handles, and that's the standard the Army goes with. Okay, so first we're going to just talk about the stance, grip, and position of this, and then show you a side view and how it's going to look. So the stance, grip, position, real quick, just to establish the stance, everyone's going to be different depending on your mobility, your body type, and just your natural tendencies. So just a general guideline, this is not the definitive answer for everybody. I'm just going to have Captain Hutchins jump as high as she can, without even thinking about it. She's just going to jump. Have her do it again. Wherever her feet land, wherever she jumps from, that's probably where she naturally generates power from. So I'm going to have her step right into the hex bar. Okay, so now she's got her feet set up. Now the big thing, we're going to start from the bottom up, all right, as far as the setup goes. The stance, she's got her feet now. She's going to go ahead and try to spread the ground apart, like try to spread it apart that way as though she's trying to rip the ground in the middle of her feet apart. All right, that's going to set the hips. Okay, she's then going to squeeze her glutes as hard as she can. All right, and then she's going to go ahead and push out on her midline. She's not going to suck in, she's going to push out all around. Okay, and she's going to pretend she's pulling down some ropes to the side to get her lats. She's squeezing her lats all the way down. Now everything is locked in and engaged, all right? That's the stance. Now the grip, she's going to come straight down as though she's deadlifting, setting that butt back slightly, keeping that head neutral. And now she's going to find her balance point first. That's the tricky part with the hex bar. All right, she's found it. Then she locks in, and then she's going to drive her feet into the ground, her chest away at the same time, rising at the same time, and stand. That's one. She's going to control, butt back, knees out. Touches, comes right back up. There's 2, comes right back down. Controls 3, and she must show control on the 3rd one, and then release. Again, for the grading criteria and how that works, go ahead and visit the website. We're just going over the general part of this, okay? She did a really good job keeping control and keeping under tension. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side and what we want, so she's going to step on out of here. I'm going to use a PVC pipe, talking about that stance, grip, and position. She's got her stance. She's super locked in. If you're locked in properly, you shouldn't break form, all right? So she's going to go ahead and she's going to really get the feet where she needs it. She's going to lock down that core, drive, loading up those hips, sending that butt back, and knees out, okay? One thing I want you to notice is that neutral spine she maintains. She's got the handle, and when she goes to stand up, she's pushing the ground away. She's pushing her feet to the ground, and her shoulders rise at the same time. Go ahead. This PVC should remain the same. She pushes and then stands up. Once she gets to that same position, she really just squeezes her butt. But notice she does not hyperextend. Right? She does not lean back. She just squeezes her glutes at the top, and she's good. Again, and stand. Excellent, and relax. All right, so that would be the motion we're going for. So in the beginning, you just want to practice that motion. I would have no weight on this bar, maybe raise the bar, and just practice getting that balance point, locking in that stance, grip, and position we talk about. Okay, another big thing is those knees tracking out. I'm going to have her get in front of you. This to demonstrate how important it is for these knees to be tracking out. We're going to have Captain Hutchins stand with her feet together. She's going to go ahead and get set up as though she was doing the deadlift. She's going to drive the knees out, all right, loading those hips up. She's going to place her hands on her glutes, as tight as she can, and then she's gonna go ahead and send those knees in. And what did that do?
Releases the tension completely.
Yep. Turns off that whole posterior chain, okay? That's where injuries can come from. So we make sure we're always driving our knees out. We'll have some preparatory stuff you can do to make sure that we're strengthening the outside lateral hip and making sure that our feet are good. So this is the thing when it's gonna come in, you're gonna wanna get with a master fitness trainer or come in and we'll work with you to see where your stance needs to be. Because if you're too wide and you don't have the strength in your outer hips, you might not be able to keep your knees driving out. Okay, so we gotta play with your position, but these are just general guidelines that we're giving you. Go over a couple progressions that we can do on your own. If we have the bar, we just wanna start with that good movement pattern. Okay, we're just gonna practice picking this bar up and down. This is 60 pounds. If we need to, we can use lighter dumbbells, but just to get the general idea, we raise the ground a little bit, and if we still can't maintain that good position we talked about earlier in the video, we would then just make the plates higher, and we make sure that we're getting that good movement every single time. We want to be able to do this under no load or minimum load. Minimum load is 60 pounds of this bar. Maybe, again, we use kettlebells that are a little lighter, and just really get that down before we ever move on to any weight. And then we just add weight incrementally as we get more comfortable and our core gets stronger and as we get stronger overall. So again, just to show you how this looks, you can just go ahead and practice here, but you would practice as though you're lifting the heaviest load you've ever lifted, just to make sure you do it the same way every single time. Comes down, grabs the bar, and stands. Awesome, and then puts it down. Another big benefit we didn't talk about earlier in the video is how you're able to get a more upright torso if you need to do the lack of mobility or whatever. I can get her in a more of a squat setup. Not as strong as a hip hinge, but definitely a good safe position to be able to keep her moving. All right, we can go over to the kettlebells as well. You may see us program some kettlebell deadlift stuff. Now this is gonna force our feet in. There's just no way to have our feet wider. So I'm going to show you first regular kettlebell deadlifts, and then we'll do some sumo deadlifts with the kettlebell, with one kettlebell. So for the first one, she's going to use 2 kettlebells. Okay, I'm on either side. The setup is exactly the same. She comes down, she sets up. This is going to also get our grip strength the way we want it, to give us that unstable platform, to get us stronger for a more stable platform. So again, we use super lightweight and we progress up, good, and relax. So we may see these programmed a lot, or these things you can work on. The sumo deadlift, we'll just take one of these away. She's gonna get in a wider stance, so this way she can more mimic a wider stance. She's gonna go ahead and still keep that weight super close. You never want that weight away from you, so if you wanna set it right between you. Same thing, she just keeps her hands in the inside in a sumo stance. Gets a little wider, actually feet a little wider for me. And she's gonna go straight down, setup is exactly the same. She pulls her chest up and then aggressively squeezes her glutes on the way up. Excellent. And relax. All right, we're gonna have more progressions to come. These are just some really basic ones, but if we work these a lot and we work these into your routines, you're gonna be able to progress safely and strongly to this 3-rep max deadlift. Okay, so at the end of every video, we're just gonna give some quick movement preps, some things you can do. Requires minimal equipment, but you might wanna invest in a band of any tension, lighter, you don't want it too crazy, and a PVC pipe. These will go a long way with movement prep especially before deadlift. So we're just gonna go over a couple. May introduce them later, but just kind of hit some to really get your system prepped and moving for this. So I'm gonna have Captain Hudson just grab a blue band. It's about medium to light tension, it's not crazy. She's gonna go ahead and step in it. She's gonna move her feet out to the side to get as much tension as she can. Even though she may not deadlift from this, it's just to add tension. She's gonna squat down, place that over her neck, and then be nice and engaged, pulling her chest up and stand. But once she comes up, she's gonna aggressively squeeze her glutes and stand, come back down, knees out, and then stand just like that. Good? And stand. This is gonna mimic, so the big thing I wanted to focus on when she's here is she's just gonna, as she presses her feet down, she's pushing the band away. This is actually gonna help us with that motion that we want for the deadlift. Push the ground away as your chest rises forward. Good, and relax. Okay, The next drill we can do, next prep movement we can do is double up the band, or if you have one available, you can use a slingshot. It's the same idea, but you're gonna just use the band for this. Just gonna put it above and below her knees. She's gonna get as much tension. She has to get pretty wide. That's why a slingshot might work better here. She's just gonna stay in this nice athletic stance. She's gonna move to the right and then to the left. I usually do about 10 each. Forward and then backwards. All right, and then relax. If you do that, if you do 10 left, 10 right, 10 forward, 10 backwards, and incorporate that into, do a couple rounds of that in your movement prep when you're getting ready, you should feel a nice little burn in the posterior area, and that means you're doing it right. You want all that stuff activated before you do anything heavy or anything in general. So you want to take that time when you're working out to work out for these things, to get movement prep, get stronger, to get that awareness, get those things firing, to get you better off. Okay. Any questions? Please just reply to the comments. Ask any and all questions. Our Masters of Fitness trainers will get back to you or myself with any answers.